Ska-ba-ba-ba-da-do-do-do-do. He-ma-ma-mo-na-mo-no-no-no. Ha-ba-la-ba-la-ba-la-ba-na-ba-na-ka-ram. He-ba-ba-boo-ba-boo-ba-da-be-bo. How about the ba-da-ba-ba-da people? Hey-na-na-na-na-na. And that's how I became a law. Yeah. It's Comics and Shots, a completely improvised and comedic music by Howard Stern's Mick the Nerd, aka YouTube and TikTok's Mick the Man, aka Mick the Maverick, aka Apple A's. Today's subject, Amethyst, Princess of Gemworld. A classic 80s DC Comics IP that they have no fucking idea what to do with. At all. Like, at all. Like, at all. Like, even when they have it, they don't know what to do with it. I remember around the New 52, there was one of the better books was, like, so, like a Amethyst Sword of Sorcery. Like, it was both harken back to Amethyst, Princess of Gemworld, and the old Swords and Ords of Sorcery books from DC Comics. It was dark, it was adventurous, a lot of people liked it. It kind of mixed up the origin of Amethyst a little bit, where it's like her mom ended up coming back to Earth with her, so she doesn't have her adopted parents anymore. It was pretty cool. And then Young Justice happened. Brian Michael Bendis' Young Justice, and he did a thing with it, and it kind of confused everything. Yeah, for whatever reason, they decided to mess with the lore of Gemworld, saying that gem magic isn't actually magic, it's more like science. No, it's not. It's magic. It's using the magical gems to do magic things and magic it up all the time. Magic, yeah. It's Gemworld. It takes place within the sphere of the gods, where all magic takes place. What are you doing? What are you doing? And the Amy Reidar series, it's kind of like it. Admittedly, they kind of left it vague because, like, using actual gem chakra points from Earth, she ended up accessing different powers. So maybe it actually is magic, but it was still a weird way to go and borderline midichlorian zing. Also, they tried to do a genre subversion of it, and no, for the love of God, no, stop it. Stop it. You only do a genre subversive story if it's not the actual story. Like, Star versus the Forces of Evil, that's not Sailor Moon. That's not Amethyst, Princess of Gemworld. So it can subvert the genres and not mess with anything. Amethyst, Princess of Gemworld is a very traditional swords and sorcery magical girl story. And, subversion is fine and everything, but people would prefer the original stories. You're probably thinking, hey Mick, what have they done with her after that Young Justice thing where she was there for 5 minutes, and after the Amy Reidar series that only you read in its entirety and no one else did? Well, barely nothing. Barely anything. Like, Lord Opal shows up quite a bit. He's fought the Flash once or twice. And Amethyst showed up once, I believe, in Superman. Joshua Williamson's Superman. And not much on her own, because once again, no one knows what to do with this character, because they allowed Brian Michael Bendis to reboot it despite there not being need of any freaking reboot. Also, Amy Reidar. They let two people reboot it despite there being no need. Ugh. Also, they made Lord Topaz like a really bad dude, and that pissed me off. Ugh. Yeah. And anytime you see Amethyst show up, or Gemworld show up, they never go into detail about how the world works anymore, because they have no idea how the world works anymore. Is it science fantasy? Is it just all fantasy? Is it a fantasy world that thinks it's science fantasy? What is going on here? None of it makes any goddamn sense. Ugh. Also, I'm pretty sure the princess from Creature Commandos is supposed to be evil Amethyst Princess of Gemworld, but that's just my headcanon for now. I think there was definitely more to her because that can't be how she actually died. Yeah, but DC Comics, for the love of God, keep it simple. A simple swords and sorcery book. Swords and sorcery, magical girl book. Frickin' She-Ra. She was She-Ra before She-Ra even existed. It's actually kind of damning. She-Ra is kind of very much a copy of Amethyst Princess of Gemworld, as well as He-Man being a copy of Conan the Barbarian and Shazam, but that's another thing altogether. Yeah. I'd say it's karma that She-Ra's not getting a new series anytime soon, but I was a huge fan of the N.D. Stevenson show, so I'm at a mix. Yeah. Also Nimona, love Nimona. Yeah. Amethyst Princess of Gemworld, DC, please. I know you're spying on me. I saw James Gunn in the bushes. Simple, swords and sorcery, magical girl. That's all it needs to be. Maybe make a young adult novel with it. Like, you probably could find some ammo there. Probably some good young adult writers who could tackle that. It'd be fun. Yeah. Do that with this ancient IP that you own, and everything will be fine. With that, like, comment, and subscribe. Donate if you're feeling nice. Share it with a bear. And always remember, praise be to the Blood Elk, fear the Stapopotamus, and death to Kronos. Also, our president wants to invade Canada. Sorry to end it on a down note, but I've been thinking about that all day. Have a night, and stay safe.